This is cool, and I didn't know what I was going to talk about either. I kind of developed it on the way here. I'm not a pre-planner, it's not really my style. And then you think about journey to entrepreneurship, so what's more impactful than your story and your experiences? I truly believe your story is the last true, authentic type of content there is. So I'm gonna share my journey with you guys, if that's okay. Do you guys mind if I get a little vulnerable with you guys? We don't know each other anyway. You don't know who I am, so it's irrelevant. But I'm gonna share a little bit about me, and we're gonna kind of get to know each other on a deeper level. So my story starts interesting. I almost died when I was 10. I opened my eyes, I'm in a hospital room, I have no idea how I got there, why I'm there. I'm looking for my mom, I'm completely lost and completely scared. I hear doctors around me telling me that I had 10% chance of living through the next 90 days, and I have no recollection as how I got into that bed. I truly believe your life is made up of very defining moments and very key principles, and you have to be able to grasp that. That's not the first defining moment in my life, though, so I'm going to reverse a little bit. I'm going to go back a year to when I was 9 years old. And I had to face the biggest challenge to any kid that comes from immigrant parents, and that's asking them for money. Anyone else have that same parents? Got it. So I had to ask my dad for $20. I was 9 years old. And that's like asking, when you have a European father, that's like asking for $1 million. And I get it, $20 back then was a lot of money. That would last you a whole weekend. You could buy a Honda. There was a lot you could do with $20 back in the day. So I built up the courage. I asked my dad, and he flat out said no. But the lesson he taught me after that is what completely changed my life and put me on this path of entrepreneurship. He said, I'm never going to give you money, but I'm going to teach you one time how to make it and never ask me again. So I came from a really small town, Stouffville. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. Back when I was living in Stouffville, we had three major things to talk about. We had a Canadian Tire, we had a hill, and we had a convenience store in that order of importance. And that hill was like the place to be. There was no cooler place than the hill. And I remember my dad giving me money out of his pocket, sending me to the store, the convenience store with my mom, and he said, grab any freezies, grab any ice cream, grab anything that you and your friends enjoy, bring it back home, and I'm going to set you up with something. I'm 9, I'm completely lost, but I do what I got to do. Back then, freezies were like 5 cents. Things were cheaper, a couple $100 could go a long way. So I had bags full. I bring it home, my dad throws it all in a cooler, throws some ice on it, throws it in the back of his truck, brings me to the hill where the park is. There's a bunch of families playing, it's amazing. He throws me in the middle of it with a sign that says cool treats for $1 and leaves me there all day. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm 9 years old, I'm obviously not qualified to sell anything. And he has me sitting there, and I'm crying inside because I'm like, who's going to pay $1 for something that costs 10 cents? And little did I know, my dad showed up about an hour and a half later. I had sold everything I had and had $300 in my pocket. My dad's truck pulled up. I ran. I freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, Dad, I made $300. He looked at me and he smiled. He took the money, kept 280 and gave me 20. I learned 2 very important lessons that day to start my entrepreneur career. Number 1, people will pay a lot more for convenience than you think. And number 2, you only ever get what you ask for. And those 2 lessons from my dad propelled my career. So now fast forward a year later, I already know what I'm going to be. How many 10-year-olds have their career mapped out? I used to do presentations in front of my toys. I thought, this is it for me. This is the greatest moment of my life. I'm going to be a salesman, a businessman like my dad. And then I come in from playing hockey, back when kids played outside. And I walk into the house and my back's hurting. I don't know why. It's like I feel like maybe I took a hit wrong or I fell. I couldn't figure it out. And I see my mom walking towards me, and all of a sudden she gets blurry. I can't see her. It's like she's going to like 3 of her. And I go to reach for my mom. Next thing I know, I hit the floor and I wake up in that hospital bed. Those 90 days came and went, and little did I know I'd be in that hospital for the next 4 years with a very rare condition called hydronephrosis, which is kidney disorder, at 10 years old. And the funny thing about life, I don't know if it's happened to you already, but as soon as you decide to do something is when life decides to test you. And all those entrepreneur dreams I had were out the window, and I spent 4 years in that hospital bed, crying every day. I saw 50 kids die in their terminal illness ward. That numbs you, that messes with your emotions. Every day you wake up wondering, when is it going to be my turn? When do I die? That's not a thought a 10-year-old should have. I finally healed from that, and I learned two important lessons. I learned two important defining lessons by the age of 14. And what I learned that day is never ever go to bed angry, because I saw so many kids smile when they went to sleep, and so many of those same kids now wake up. And the second thing that I learned that day that was extremely impactful is time is the most precious commodity that you have. Don't waste it doing things you don't want to do. Don't live a life of regret for that. At 14, my life took a dark path because of these 4 years I lost. I saw my parents fight every day about money. My dad lost his dream home that he worked his whole life for. And at 14, I blamed myself. I figured it's a money issue. I figured, I caused this for my parents because my hospital bills were so high. And at 14, I couldn't even fathom the emotional pain that I was in, so I would just, take it out on myself. And I made the decision to leave home and go live on the streets. Right at Lakeshore and Spadina in Toronto. I took whatever little possessions I had and I went to go live there. Had no idea what I was doing. Every day I woke up and it was so dark. In my heart, in my mind, in my emotions. I got jumped right away and lost all the things I had. But people would ask me, why don't you just go home? Because the pain of guilt was way worse than the pain I was feeling on those streets. So I stayed. And I watched all these homeless people with the same thing, the same signs. You guys have seen it. You drive by it every day like it doesn't exist. Help me, give to me. And every day you pass by and I realized something, that doesn't work. People don't care. So I changed my approach. Those entrepreneur thoughts started coming back in my head. I developed a sign. I put it right at the corner of Lakeshore and Spadina and it said, I'm not homeless. This is my squeegee business. And when people would stop at the light, I would go to their window, show them the sign, and say, thank you for being on time. Would you like me to start with your front window or your back? And they would laugh. And I learned two very important lessons, again, at the age of 14. Number one, humor is one of the greatest gifts in the world. If you're not laughing every day, you're missing out on all this incredible stuff. Guys, you're entrepreneurs, stop for a minute and laugh. Enjoy the process. And number two, life is made up of choices, not chances. And I decided to make that choice just like I decided to leave that choice. And over the next 10, 15 years of my life, I became one of the youngest executive chefs in Toronto at 19. I started a catering business at 21, made my first six figures that same year, lost everything at 22. I had a dream condo, I had a dream car, and I had a dream girlfriend, and I watched all three get repossessed when I lost all my money. Yeah. And that was a fun time. Then I made some incredible connections through my catering business with a marketer. His name was Mick Elliott. Mick took me under his wing, taught me everything about sales and marketing, where I developed the concept of MJF Solutions, which was a digital marketing firm, back when it was, not cool to have that. And I worked hard, and I wanted to make it an impactful company for people like you, for up-and-coming entrepreneurs, to identify themselves, to really have a true taste of what entrepreneurship was like. I got to work with incredible people like Ryan. I'm so supported. Thank God I'm up here, guys, and it's all due to my amazing girlfriend, Angie. I'm so grateful for her. Because I'm not naturally comfortable at this. I'm an introverted entrepreneur. So speaking in front of people, I can play, to the crowd, I can have some fun, but I gotta go sleep for 4 days after this. You're not gonna see me on social media. I'm done, I gotta recharge. And guys, when I turned, 30 years old at the pinnacle of my business, I was able to buy my parents their dream home. My life came full circle, and all I'm going to tell you guys is the impact you make today in this room, the choices you make today, are what's going to leave your legacy. Guys, a legacy is not what you leave behind, it's what you leave in people. It's what you get remembered for. So I want to thank EDA for this incredible opportunity, for hearing me speak and sharing my story and being vulnerable with you guys. Thank you.